This episode of Sure Buddy, Mike Brown actually opens up his wallet. Was it a huge mistake or was it a great idea? Before we get into it, please make sure to go ahead and hit the like and subscribe buttons. Get those comments to us. Follow us on YouTube, Instagram. We're on Blue Sky, Twitter, X. Please get out there, support us, give us your feedback. Rashid, how you doing, man?
I'm good, man. I'm just blown away by this. If the Bengals are gonna bangle, man, this is a stupid move. But we can dive into it. I know you feel some type of way about this, but I'm gonna dive right in, man. I'm just I'm just flabbergasted by how you can spend 44% of your entire salary cap on three players. And all three players on offense when your team was dog shit on defense last year. I think they lost 4 games last year when they scored over 30 points. Their best defensive players on the trade block because he wants more money. I mean, I think Jermaine Pratt requested a trade. Yeah, what are the Bengals doing,
I
man?
didn't see
Help me
that.
make sense.
I didn't see that Jermaine Pratt requested a trade.
That was pre-free agency.
Okay. I didn't know that. But I mean, does that really matter? Like,
No,
if
it's not like they were good with him, but
yeah, exactly. Dude, I don't know. I mean, that's it's tough, right? Like they made a strong run and they made up some lost ground, having literally zero defense. Like one of the worst, most like torchable defenses that I've seen in quite some time. They were like just they were constantly trying to like plug the holes and kind of shoveling water out of the boat. And even with that, I mean, they made it happen, right? Like, who was their running back?
Chase Brown.
Chase Brown. So Chase Brown is like nothing really to write home about. They have no tight ends. Their
They just
offensive
re-signed
line,
Gasicki.
yeah, he doesn't count though.
He doesn't count.
Their offensive line has been a joke. It wasn't that bad this year, but and they've retooled the line, I think, twice since Joe Burrow's been there. And even with all that, they were a phenomenal offense, right? So, A, it's working. It's proven it's working. It's making sense. It's paying dividends. So, I mean, why wouldn't you? You have a generational talent in Joe Burrow. You have a generational talent in Jamar Chase. You were going to sign them anyways, right? There's nothing wrong with signing Joe Burrow to a $55 million a year contract. There's nothing wrong with making Jamar Chase the second highest paid wide receiver, I believe.
No, no, number one.
Okay, so highest
He's
paid
the
wide
highest
receiver,
paid non QB
which is funny that Max was that for like 2 days.
for 2 days. Then Garrett, and then Garrett was it for even less. But let
And
me ask you one question. Let me ask
but
you one question.
real quick, I just want to say before you ask your question, what else were they going to do? And that's, I guess, a rhetorical question, but go ahead. What were you going to say?
Do you think Joe Burrow is in the same tier as like a Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson level
Absolutely.
quarterback, right? Tier one.
Absolutely.
Tyreek was traded away from Kansas City, and then the Chiefs won the Super Bowl. They've been on this run. They won two Super Bowls without Tyreek. They built a team, a complete team. They built up a defense around him.
Hmm.
Josh lost Diggs last year. They lost a whole bunch of defensive players as well. They lost Gabe Davis last year. It's safe to say they were probably better this year. Josh really mm, elevated the talent around him to make. I mean, he had Khalil Shakir, a rookie Keon Coleman, a washed up Amari Cooper, Kincaid, Knox, and he made it happen. Why couldn't Burrow do the same thing? Fine, Chase is generational. Keep him. He won the Triple Crown last year. But if Chase is getting double coverage, why can't you get any wide receiver too to just kind of be more better than average or good?
So you think that they should have just cut T. Higgins loose and
Trade
Joe
him.
Burrow could have made it work with some other guy, basically, right?
Yep.
So I mean, that's a valid point. There's just two problems with that. If you look at the Chiefs, right? Like, so you look at the 2023 Chiefs. So that was their first year without Tyreek. Um, They by the end of the year, not all year, by the end of the year, they had um, a pretty stout defense, probably one of the most stout defenses, if not the most stout defense in the NFL. Um, and a certainly above average offensive line, probably maybe top seven offensive line. Had one of the greatest tight ends to ever live. They picked up, somebody that ended up just being like a diamond in the rough in Rasheed Rice, who paid dividends for them. Outside of Patrick Mahomes' ability to get him the ball, he was just really good after the catch, right? They had Isaiah Pacheco, who played out of his mind and above his skill set for the majority of the playoff run, late season and playoff run. So they had all those things go right for them. The Bengals have none of the structure to have any of those things go right for them in the
Yeah,
near future. And
they
that's
got to
why I
draft better.
say,
Yeah,
dude, honestly, at the end of the year, at the end of the day, you might just be creating a ticket selling, faces on tickets, high scoring, throw a bunch of touchdowns offense and make a ton of money in the process and have no desire or goals or intentions to win Super Bowls because I mean that's kind of what you tell your fans when you're the one of the most lowly rated teams in the NFL when you're known for being like the stingiest penny pinching ownership team. They're just not, I don't think that they're building a Super Bowl contender. I just think they're trying to build a fun team.
I agree. I agree, and I think
And if you're doing that, I'm all for it, bro, because it's fun to
they're
watch.
they're doing like an auction draft in fantasy football. They put all their eggs on stars and scrubs. It's really the strategy that some people do in fantasy football for auction drafts. You just
Yeah.
pitch a bunch of stars, and then you have just rookies and cheap players that you kind of fill in the rest of your roster.
And that doesn't, I mean, it doesn't work in the NFL. It doesn't work in the NBA. It doesn't work in real life, right? We know that. But it gives you a chance. I mean, it gave them a chance this past season. If they had just lost one less game earlier on in the season, if they got their shit together earlier, 1 week sooner than they had, they would have made the playoffs. And if they made the playoffs, bro, like all
They would have
bets
beat the
were off.
Bills. They would have beat
Yeah,
the Bills. They
they
would have
they
played the Bills,
probably
and
they
hundred
probably would have beat the
percent
Bills.
the Bills' shitty ass defense. They would have beat the Bills,
And
and who
and
knows?
so
But
like so now, I mean, now it's okay. Okay, now if you're the Bengals, what are you doing? So now you've got a like potential disaster on your hands. I don't think so. I think it's going to be great, but so what do? You go out there and I'm guessing you pick up a running back and some defense, right?
I think
Well, Chase Brown is
literally,
good. They don't really
yeah,
really need a running back, right?
entire deep draft should be defensive players. Pick up
Hmm.
another defensive end, another linebacker, corners, safeties, literally everything. I think Logan Wilson and BJ Hill are the only ones that are technically there. I mean, Trey Hendrickson is there, but Sam Hubbard retired. Who knows? I mean, trade Hendrickson and just literally use all those picks on more defense.
At this point, you have to trade him. Like this should pretty much guarantee that Trey Hendrickson gets traded, right?
Yeah, but who's gonna pay a 31-year-old white defensive end 30 something million like $30 million now like post the big spending and free agency, right? It's gonna be
Yeah, I mean, I could see that being the type of thing that the Cowboys do.
how are they gonna do that with they gotta pay Micah.
Ooh, yeah. I mean, maybe
I
they
could
don't pay
see
Micah.
the Patriots doing they have a lot of money. I don't even know who their ends are besides they got Harold Landry, but that's about it. Yeah, I just don't see many people with that kind of cap space to that could give up a second round pick or a second and a fourth for a 31-year-old and stud last year. But who knows how many of those were empty sacks really like when the game was kind of out of hand or the but regardless he's a good player. I don't know if he's worth
Hey,
$35 million.
who did they franchise tag?
T T Higgins,
That's kind of whack. So
second year in a row.
they franchised him and then paid him.
Hmm.
So they could have used that franchise tag on Trey if they were going to pay T the whole time, right?
Yeah, but then T would have hit the open market when free agency hit, and he would have gotten.
Yeah, he would have
T
got
to,
swooped up right away.
Higgins took a under market deal, to be honest. He could have gotten 30 plus in on free agency from the Patriots or somebody.
Yeah, if they
Um,
had him franchise tagged him, but because I mean, if he was on the market day one, then he would have been the most overpaid wide receiver probably in the history of the NFL.
what about Ayuk at 30 million?
No, he would have been more overpaid than Ayuk because
And there's another.
he would have made more money, and I don't think he's as good as Ayuk.
And here's the thing: T Higgins is consistently hurt. It's not like you're playing for
Exactly.
somebody who's like on
Exactly.
the field all the time, been there, grinded.
No.
His hamstrings like string cheese, man. It's
You
at
might
any
as well just
moment. Yeah,
pick up Keenan Allen for whatever
yeah,
minimum contract he's going for right now. I see that PFF's mock draft has them picking up Walter Nolan,
yeah.
the Bengals out of Ole Miss. What do you think about that?
He's a stud. He's a stud. I mean, selfishly speaking, he's my like C pick if he falls to the Bills. Kenneth Grant, Derek Harmon, or Walter Nolan are the three D tackles that I'd want for the Bills to pick up. He's a big boy, like
Yeah,
6'4", 295 or something like that, and
P-
played in the SEC. He's a stud.
PFF has you guys getting Kenneth Grant at
Two backflips.
well, I just good for the Bengals for spending money. T and did you see T and Jamar's conference after they said
Yeah,
that
yeah,
they were going to fix the food situation in
yeah. Circle jerk and just talk about the better food, making the food better. Yeah, I mean, good luck. I mean, good luck scoring over 35 a game
like
when.
I mean, my message to you was when it happened was you should be excited because this just helps make the road
Yeah,
to the Super Bowl that
I
much
think
easier
so.
for
As
you
long as the
guys.
Bills can play better on defense, but let's see.
They're, I mean, it's crazy. They're literally the opposite team of the Bills. Like
But
they're,
opposite of the Bills and the Chiefs, and
yeah,
the Ravens, the
yeah,
three
that's,
powerhouses really, like
yeah.
who have the Ravens paid on offense? They pay
And
Derrick
and
Henry's making like 7 million.
and it's not like they draft well. So it's not like
No,
they're gonna go and like knock this draft out of the ballpark and have the like the 2024 Rams defense where it's like, oh dude, who's that guy? Where'd that guy
yeah,
come from? Who's that guy? Like,
exactly.
so yeah, yeah, good luck to the Bengals. I still think it was a good decision. Because their backs were kind of up against the wall. And I think the important thing that we need to not overlook is when your generational quarterback and your generational wide receiver are saying they want that guy with them,
Yeah,
then you're kind of hamstrung, bro. And the players are starting to gain as much power in the NFL as they have in the NBA. It's just they have much better collective bargaining in the favor of the ownership in the NFL.
yep,
But yeah, I mean, I guess we'll see. We'll revisit this topic for sure. But if anything, man, congratulations to you that the AFC is wide open.
yeah. Let's see, man. All right, man.
All right,
Until next time.
until next time.